All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to live deck building. We are doing mono green Landfall tonight with green sleeves Marrow Sorcerer. This thing is $24. It came out in Dominaria United, and it's a hoot and a half. I loved this deck. If I'm ever teaching a newer player how to play Magic, I pull out green sleeves. One, because she's super fun, and she makes a little 3/3 Badger creature token whenever a land enters the battlefield under our control. But she also has power toughness equal to her, equal to the amount of lands we control, and she has protection from Plainswalkers and Wizards for some reason. She's super fun, she makes fun tokens, and she's very simple. I love my Green Sleeves deck. It's one of my favorite decks I have, and I'm happy to be showing off my new stream functionality. I can now show you guys my real cards. Thanks for hanging out with me. If you guys have any suggestions for a mono green Landfall deck, please put them in the chat, y'all. Oh, he does own a shirt. Hey, Tristan, how's it going, dude? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Yeah, I'm just showing off my Green Sleeves deck today instead of my tits like normal. So, yeah, if you have any suggestions for a mono green Landfall deck, put it in the comments. One of my favorite Landfall kind of spells, it's also a little bit of removal. It's kind of mean. You can play it mean, or you can play it nice. When I first started playing Magic, I played it nice, but now that I know what I'm doing, I play it mean. It's called Pier's Whim. Pier's Whim is a 4-drop mono-green sorcery that says that you get to pick who at the table is a friend or a foe, and each friend gets to search their library for any land they want, and they get to shit it directly onto the battlefield. And each foe has to sacrifice a non-token artifact or enchantment. It's super fun, kind of mean. It's $4. The noted utility about our friend Pier's Whim, though, is that Pier's Whim can grab you any land you want, right? So if you want to grab your Nykthos Shrine to Nyx, you can grab that with Pier's Whim. Yeah, I enjoy Pier's Whim. It does say any land onto the battlefield, untapped. It is a hoot and a half. Highly recommend a Pier's Whim. Hey y'all, hope you're all having a good night. We are doing mono green Landfall tonight. Another card I run in this is a Primal Vigor. Primal Vigor is a way for us to double up the Badger tokens we would be making. And yeah, the goal... Oh, that is not looking good. Let's get that the fuck out of there. Okay. Yeah, Primal Vigor is a 5-drop mono-green enchantment that can double up our token production and our +1/+1 counter placement. But notable about Primal Vigor is it will help our opponents. It will also double up the amount of tokens they make and also double up the amount of counters they put on their permanents. It's a good time. It's $12 for this version, but we just got a Black Panther Secret Lair in the last year, and there was a Primal Vigor in that set, and that Primal Vigor is like $6. Also, we got a different printing of Primal Vigor kind of recently in the Enchanting Tales of Eldraine, and yeah, this is that one. This one's also really affordable. I know this might sound goofy, but an Evolving Wild... Yeah, oh my god, Stank Boy! Also, good to see you, Stank Boy. I love an Evolving Wilds in this deck. Evolving Wilds is great, as is its cousin, Terramorphic Expanse. Hey, Stank Boy, look what I can do! I can show off my real cards now. They're a little grainy, but yeah, Evolving Wilds, it's a land, it enters the battlefield as a land, triggering our commander, and when it triggers our commander, it will make us a Badger, but this thing can be activated to get us another basic and grab us a second Badger. Highly recommended Evolving Wilds and also a Terramorphic Expanse. It's a good time. I lost my Badgers. There they are. Okay, yeah, so whenever a land enters the battlefield under control, Green Sleeves will make us a Badger. Yeah. I enjoy a Green Sleeves and some Badgers, and something else that'll help us make oodles and boodles of Badgers is an Ancient Green Warden. Ancient Green Warden is a 6-drop. It's one of the pricier cards for a Landfall. Oh, no, this one, cool. Okay, so this thing, it looks like it had a reprint and Jumpstart, so it's a little cheaper now. This thing used to hang out around $20, and it's a 6-drop, 5/7, and it says that if we would have a land enter the battlefield and give us a triggered ability, it'll give us additional trigger. It's real good time. And it says that whenever a land enters the battlefield, we will make 2 badgers instead of a singular badger. The badger like an is badger like an otter? I'm not sure. I am not. I mean, it's a 3/3 vanilla token creature. It looks like this is the official badger that Greensleeves makes. I don't know nothing about no badgers. All right. So, also, if you guys are curious about where the term ramp comes from, it seems a little asinine, but it does in fact come from a card called Rampant Growth. Rampant Growth is a little 2-drop green sorcery that lets us start your library for a basic, shit it onto the battlefield tapped. It's a good time. It's like 5 cents. But it's aggressively costed ramp for 2 mana. Alright. Hey y'all, we are doing mono green Landfall tonight. If you want to suggest any mono green Landfall cards, please put them in the chat, y'all. Hey Bracket, how are you doing? Good to see. Weird to see you on Twitch, Bracket. Bracket, oh my God, look what I can do. So, Greensleeves makes badgers whenever a land enters the battlefield, and I set up my stream setup so I can show you guys my real cards if I happen to own them. It's a little grainy, but I'm working on it. This is my first time being able to do it. Those are my fancy tokens I made for this deck. Hey Gecky, how are you doing? My day's going pretty good. I'm showing off one of my favorite decks tonight. We're checking out Greensleeves, Marrow Sorcerer. It's got protection from Plainswalkers. It's got protection from Wizards. It's got big power and toughness if we got a bunch of lands. And whenever a land enters the battlefield, we get to make ourselves a badger. With the graininess of that camera, it made the badger kind of scary. Okay. Obviously Primeval Titan. Is Primeval Titan banned in Commander? I think it might be. This is the one that enters and it just lets you grab. Or is it whenever it enters or attacks, it grabs you a... Yeah, Primeval Titan's banned, unfortunately, in Commander. And because we're building a Commander deck, it's not going to come up on Moxfield, unfortunately. Obviously, yeah, Primeval Titan would be cool, though. If we can bounce a Primeval Titan, get that ETB trigger a few times, be sitting pretty. Check out Zendikar's Royal. I will check out Zendikar's Royal. I actually used to run a Zendikar's Royal in this deck, but I took it out. This thing is a 5-drop mono green enchantment with a landfall trigger. It says whenever a land enters the battlefield under our control, we get to create a little 2/2 elemental. This is like a little enchantment version of our commander, except not able to swing and doesn't have protection from wizards. Doesn't make as big a creature as the 3/3 badger, but it's cool. If you have it and Greensleeves out, you're making double the amount of creatures. I like this card. I took it out of my deck though because it felt kind of samey. And, like, if you want consistency in your commander deck, and you're, like, that's great. But this felt a little samey to me. And like, there's so many fancy green mythics that come out in every set, and, like, I don't know. I test them out in Greensleeves. So I think that my Zendikar's Royal came out for something spicy. Yeah, I think it came out for, like, I think it was the last March of the Ooze or something that I put in there. Combo with Scoot. Oh my God, Scoot Swarm. How did I not pull out my Scoot Swarm when I was I went through my Greensleeves deck and I pulled out all the cards I think would be cool in it. And I've missed my Scoot Swarm. I can't believe I missed my Scoot Swarm. Scoot Swarm's amazing. Scoot Swarm is the reason that Arena has like a 250 token limit, because Scoot Swarm will crash Arena if left unchecked. It's great. It makes bugs. If you have less than 5 lands, it makes a vanilla bug. But if you got more than 5 lands, you make a copy of Scoot Swarm. And then Scoot Swarm will Fibonacci sequence out, making like sequentially more and more bugs that you just overwhelm the table in bugs. Highly recommend. It is also, like, it should be noted that, like, getting off a Scoot Swarm and getting it to trigger a few times is incredibly fun. It's a really good time to make a crap ton of bugs. Cultivator Colossus. Void with the Cultivator Colossus. Cultivator Colossus is amazing. It's a 7-drop little plant beast. This thing says when it enters the battlefield, you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. If you do, you get to draw yourself a card, and then you repeat the process. So Cultivator Colossus is card draw that will also let you plop down all the lands from your hand onto the battlefield. It's also got power toughness equal to the lands you control. Also, it's got trample. It's a good time, and there are multiple art prints of this thing. I got the spooky black and white one from one of the Innistrad sets. I really enjoy this thing. I think the art's really cool. He's kind of edgy. Yeah, I didn't even realize he got like that art treatment as well. He's a good time. Highly recommend a Cultivator Colossus. He used to be pretty pricey. He used to hang out around $20-some, but he's been printed enough that he's down below 10, and I'm happy to see that. Right now it looks like he is less than $7. That ain't so bad. I really enjoy him. This is another card that's really, really fun to get it to go off. Like, I love my Greensleeves deck so much. Like, my Greensleeves is probably one of my funnest decks, and whenever I'm teaching a newer player how to play Magic, I use Greensleeves, because it teaches them triggers, it teaches them, like, that, like, its commander is, like, you're focused on the commander. Also, it's fun, because it makes Badger tokens. Anyway, we're pulling up an Enduring Vitality. It's that cute little enchantment deer creature from Duskmourn. This thing's really interesting because when it dies, it comes back as a non-creature enchantment version of itself. It also lets us tap our creatures for mana. And if you're running a token deck, you can tap your Badgers for mana when you're not tapping them for violence. This thing's super fun. It's reasonably priced at $7. I feel like that's pretty stable since it came out. It's a good time. Also, it has that little insurance policy on it, where if it dies, it just becomes a non-creature enchantment. This thing's pretty cool. Highly recommend. Great little piece of ramp. I've been playing this commander since she came out. Oh my god, Robbie Coolbray! So have I, Robbie! Is it not super fun? I love this. It's one of my most fun decks. Titania, Voice of Gaia. Miss State Farm Jack. Okay, Mr. State Farm Jack. Hey, State Farm Jack. Jack from State Farm. You want us to run a Titania, Voice of Gaia. Titania, Voice of Gaia. Okay, is that the 3-drop? It is the 3-drop. This thing came out in the Brothers War. It's a little bit graveyard themed. This little 3/4 elemental has reach, and whenever one or more land cards are put into your graveyard, you gain yourself a little bit of life. And at the beginning of your upkeep, if there are 4 or more land cards in your graveyard, you get to meld Titania with her legendary land, and then she flips into something crazy. This thing's crazy, and when we're speaking, like, okay, so I keep going back to the fun factor of this deck. This deck is incredibly fun. Easily my most fun deck. I also run this in here, and if you could meld your cards together and you make one super card, you're having the best time at the table. Like, I promise you. Also, when this thing flips, it takes all the lands from your graveyard and plops them directly onto the battlefield. Also, it's a relevant body. It's got a bunch of keywords. It's also got haste. It's big because it's power toughness equal to lands you control, a lot like our girl Greensleeves over here. And this thing has an activated ability to put 4+1/+1 counters on target land you control and make it a creature. Be careful about making your lands creatures, because once your lands are creatures, they're a lot more mortal than they used to be. This thing's super fun, though. Great suggestion. Great suggestion, Jack. All right. Brain Dead Cat, yeah. Oh yeah, Brain Dead Cat was running Titania, Voice of Gaia. Spelunking will win you games. Jeremiah's is, yeah, Spelunking. A lot of people are hype on Spelunking. I am sleeping on Spelunking. It's like a 3-drop little mono green enchantment that came out in the Caverns of Ixalan. It enters the battlefield, you draw a card, and then you can shit a land from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. If you put a cave onto the battlefield this way, you gain a little bit of life. It also says that lands you control enter the battlefield untapped. This thing is seeing a lot of play in Gates decks. I've seen it. Also, it's cool. It's a little bit, it does 2 things for you, right? It's kind of like a growth spiral shit, like stapled to an enchantment that also makes your lands untapped. So it's a little bit of card draw, and it can be a little bit of ramp if you can draw into a land or if you already had one in your hand when you cast it. It's cool. It's a good time. It's $5. It's climbing in price since it's been out. This was a bulk common, but like it's seeing more and more decks want that untapped land. It's cool. I enjoy this thing. People are so hot on this card. I should give it a try. Thank you for the follow, Shadowfax TCG. I appreciate it. I'm BGM. And I use green screen effects to make silly little Magic the Gathering content all over the internet. And on live deck building, I talk about the cards that you guys put in the comment section. If you see your card over here, it's going to be in a Moxfield deck list. And if you guys want to see what everybody else has been suggesting for our Greensleeves deck, you can check out the Moxfield link in the TikTok profile. Anyway, this is Land Grant, and I've never seen this thing before in my life. It's a 2-drop sorcery. If you have no land cards, if you have no land cards in hand, you may reveal your hand instead of paying for it. Search your library for a forest card and put that card into your hand. into your hand. Okay, guys, okay. I don't, alright, so for 2 mana, right? It's 2 mana, it's sorcery speed. It's putting a land in your hand. It can be free put a land in your hand, which could be cool, but for 2 mana, instead of searching your library and putting a land into your hand, you can play Rampant Growth, and you can search your library and put that land onto the battlefield. And Rampant Growth is less than 79 cents, I can almost promise you. There are certain decks, though, that really want to have lands in their hands. Like Borborygmos Enraged comes to mind as a commander that would rather have those lands in your hands than the battlefield. So this I would consider for that. But for Greensleeves, I would definitely play the basic bitch Rampant Growth over this. For me personally. Thank you for suggesting the card, though. In the deck it goes, if you guys want to see any of the suggestions. Can we see a Tsunami? Gunnar, are you... Gunnar, if this is... Oh, Gunnar, why? Gunnar, okay, so I don't want to white knight for the blue players, but do they really deserve this, Gunnar? Okay, I hate that this is 35 cents. I hate that this is so affordable. Gunnar, there's been another upgrade to the stream. If you play Landfall, you must be shamed. So, Gunnar, these are for you. Shame on you for playing Landfall. Yeah. This is something you can do. You can do this for 40 cents to your friends. I don't know if you would want to. I don't know who hurt you. This is a mess. Well, the art's cool, at least. They deserved it. You guys are crazy. Alright. I run them in my deck. They could be... boxing ring. Boxing ring. What the heck is a boxing ring? I don't think I've heard of a boxing ring before. Boxing Ring is an artifact. It's a green artifact. It's 2 mana. I think it's from one of the new Capenna precons. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, it fights up to 1 target creature you don't control with the same mana value. Tap, create a treasure token. Activate only if you control a creature that fought this turn. This is so fucking cool, actually. I love fight spells. I think fighting is such a cool... basic mechanic in Magic the Gathering. I actually made a video about how much I love green as a color in Magic. It's coming out tomorrow morning, and I talk about fight spells. I had no idea this thing existed. This thing is so fun, especially because the tokens that Greensleeves makes are relevant bodies, right? The tokens ain't no 1/1s, they're little 3/3s. They got 3 power, 3 toughness, and they can get scrappy with some 1/1s and win all day long. This is very cool, and this is only only $2. Also, it can be ramp if you basically it says if a creature entered this turn, you get to make a treasure token for free every turn. This is incredible, actually. I might have to get me one of them. This card's great. Excellent suggestion. Thank you. God, this deck is so fun. This is easily my funnest deck. Savage Summoning. Octojack wants us to run a Savage Summoning. Thank you guys for the 300 likes on TikTok. I appreciate it. Savage Summoning. Savage Summoning. Savage Summoning? Savage Summoning. 1 mana, mono green instant. Can't be countered. The next creature card you cast this turn can be cast as though it had flash. The spell can't be countered. That creature enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. This is just a cool little bit of creature tech. This is interesting. I like that it's $2. I like that it makes your creatures instant speed, and your opponents can't see it. Because a lot of stuff that gives your spells flash, they're permanents. They hang out on the battlefield. They can get got at any moment. But this is an instant. You can do it in response to things. Maybe you have a cool creature with an enter the battlefield trigger that you can do at instant speed because of this thing. It also adds a counter to it, which is cool. Also, this spell can't be countered, which is interesting. I don't see a lot of counters in my play group, so yeah, very cool. Dilly Drafts, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Oh, B, is it in a month? I didn't realize it was that close, B. I am also excited for Final Fantasy. Where is your carpet? I love Carpet of Flowers. I don't run Carpet of Flowers in this deck, but Carpet of Flowers is such an amazing little piece of tech. It makes you so much mana for 1 mana. Carpet of Flowers, mono green enchantment at the beginning of each of your main phases. If you didn't add mana with this ability, you add as much mana as someone controls islands. It's great. There's usually a blue player amongst the pod. Usually they have at least 1 or 2 islands, and this thing will generate, even if one player has 1 island, this 1-drop will make you 1 mana every turn as long as there is a singular island on the battlefield. And if there's more than 1 island, it makes you ridiculous amounts of mana. This thing's very cool. It got a few reprints. I think it got a reprint in Lord of the Rings as well, but this Doctor Who version we're looking at is only $4. Thank you, Shadow Fist, for the follow. I appreciate it, y'all. I'm BGM. I use green screen effects to make silly little Magic the Gathering content all over the internet. And on lives, we use your suggestions to build a deck on Moxfield. If you see your card over here, it'll be in a Moxfield deck list, and y'all can check that out via the link tree. Brolios is such a bro name. Brolios of Pharaoh's Band. Ferris Band? Ferris Band. I don't need to type more than 1 word. The first word is Brolios. He is a Centaur Scout. He is 5 mana. He came out in one of the Jumpstart sets. Power and toughness equal to the number of lands you control. Okay, so it's power toughness equal to green sleeves. Excuse me. Whenever it attacks, draw a card. You may put a land from your hand onto the battlefield. That's pretty cool. That's just Growth Spiral on a creature. On an attack trigger. I like this a lot. Okay, so even just like if you're in a random ass creature deck, this is still a really playable card. It's 40 cents, it's 5 mana, it's a relevant body because it's going to be proportionate to the amount of lands you control, so it's only going to get bigger as the game goes on. It also has an attack trigger that can draw you cards and ramp you. That's significant because you need all your decks to draw, remove, and ramp just to function. And this thing will check 2 boxes, and it can check those boxes for a little bit every time you get an attack trigger. Also, he's going to be a relevant body. Oh, I can point now. Also, I can point because of the second camera I added. Yeah, he's kind of big, so he can be a body. He's cool. I like him. I like that he's super budget. Spicy Tortilla wants us to run a Nature's Revolt. Nature's Revolt. Nature's Revolt is a 5 mana mono green enchantment that says all lands are 2/2 creatures. Oh my god, it's $6. Guys, I'm gonna have to be so real with you for one moment. I am super nervous about turning my lands into creatures because once your lands are creatures, your lands are a lot more mortal than they used to be. And now, like, if there's, I don't know, not Cyclonic Rift because that says non-land specifically, but if someone board wipes and destroys all creatures while your lands are just creatures and not indestructible, you're gonna lose, and you're gonna lose probably slowly or fast. I don't know. It's gonna be a bad time. But if you want to drop this after you have a ton of lands already on the battlefield, you probably want to play this card on the turn you want to kill everybody, right? Because they can see the Badgers, they can see Green Sleeves, and whatever else you have hanging out on the battlefield. But you can drop this, and suddenly all your lands are 2/2s. So don't drop this onto the battlefield unless you want to win, or at least take somebody out that turn. Highly recommend discretion when turning your lands into creatures. Fruit Loops wants us to run Crucible of Worlds. Crucible of Worlds is cool. Crucible of Worlds used to be the only effect that let us play lands out of our graveyard. This thing is 3 mana. It's really good. So it used to be common in Commander for people to run this card and just run like fetches and like Terramorphic Expanses and things like that, and just have the Crucible of Worlds so they can keep doing that every turn. And that's cool. That's grindy value. But this thing goes ham in a Landfall deck. And like we were talking about, things like Terramorphic Expanse and Evolving Wilds in a Landfall deck, when they enter, they get you the Landfall trigger, and when you sacrifice them, they'll grab another land, getting you another Landfall trigger. So they're almost like double the value in a land. And you can pair them with things like Crucible of Worlds to keep doing that every turn, which is really powerful in a Green Sleeves deck. But it is kind of grindy. Bracket! Stop suggesting Tsunami! Lumra. Lumra's a very cool card. That bear came out in Bloomborough. I think Lumra's a girl, but we like bears here. This is a 6-drop little elemental bear. It's got power, toughness equal to the lands we control. And when it enters the battlefield, mill 4 cards, and then return all land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. So this thing will help put some lands in the graveyard, hopefully, when it enters, and then it shoots them all out for a bunch of landfall triggers. Lumra is especially powerful in a green sleeves deck because it's 6 mana, and if you draw into it in the right moment, it's probably going to be the spell you cast the turn after Green Sleeves hits the battlefield. And if Green Sleeves stays on the battlefield, and then Lumra hints, gets you a bunch of landfall triggers, you're going to be making just a silly amount of badgers off the Lumra trigger. It's a good time. Highly recommend Lumra. I'm waiting for her to come back down. I'm waiting for her to rotate out of standard before I pick me up a single of her. Thank you for sharing the live, MTG rookies. I appreciate it. Thank you. James Rosario, Lure the Prey is great. Let's talk about Lure the Prey. Lure the Prey is an ominous sounding card name. That sounds... Oof. Lure the Prey, I'm not sure. Lure the Prey is not coming up on the search. Let's just try the Prey. Maybe we're not Lure... Yeah. Also, the Prey is not coming up. Maybe P-R-A-Y? Lure the... No, that's like a prayer. Anyway, it's not coming up. I'm sorry, can I please get a spell check on that? Vidian Rebels. Vidian Rebels. Vidian Rebels. Vidian Revel is a 3-drop mono-green enchantment. Whenever an artifact is put into an opponent's graveyard from the battlefield, you may draw a card. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, this thing is amazing. How have I not seen this thing before? Okay, let's talk. Is this right? Yeah, and Head Shredder, okay. So Vidian Rebels is very cool. So this thing says whenever an opponent sacrifices a treasure, or a clue, or a food. I combined clue and food. Yeah, this thing's cool. It says you draw a card whenever they do that. And it doesn't have one of those, like, little bitchy restrictions on the triggers, right? Like, it doesn't have any once per turn. So if someone sacrifices a bunch of treasures, you're gonna draw a card for every treasure they sacrifice. This thing is insane. This thing is so good and it's only $3. I love this thing. Oh my gosh, how fun is that? That's like a green heuristic study. You just need somebody to be playing those little artifacty tokens. Bane of Progress. Bane of Progress. Great little artifact enchantment board wipe. This 6-drop elemental enters the battlefield and you destroy all artifacts, all enchantments. Put a number of +1/+1 counters on Bane of Progress equal to the number of things destroyed this way. It's so good. It's a board wipe for your opponent's favorite things, and it also becomes a big, big body. And it becomes a proportionally bigger body for the amount of harm it causes. It's great. It's a fun time. 14 bucks, real good card. Alright, I'm sorry, Geki. I missed your Yavi Maya a lot. Thank you so much for hanging out. Yavi Maya, Cradle of Growth, is crazy. And it says that all lands are forest, including your opponent's lands. Each land is a forest in addition to its other type. So if we're running non-basic lands, like I run a Temple of the False God in here, just because it's always active in a mono-green landfall deck, almost. So this thing will turn that into a forest. We can also, this will open up other possibilities for us to get value off the amount of forests we control. We're already going to have an inordinate amount of forests because we're in mono-green. But this thing will turn the non-basics into forests, and if we run it that way, where we have a lot of cards that care about forests, this thing turns all those on. Does a real good job of it, too. Alright, next we got an Abundance. Abundance. So we did Cultivator Colossus already, so we're going to do Abundance. Abundance is very cool. I definitely run Abundance in this deck. It's a 4-drop mono-green enchantment, and it says that you... it says whenever you would draw a card, you pick if you want to draw a land or if you want to draw a spell. And it lets you go off the top until you hit what you want. It's great. It's especially good in enchantment decks that draw a ton of cards. It's good here. Thank you, James, for the follow. I appreciate it. Yeah, so if you, like, this thing fixes your draws, right? So if you know you need an answer or you know you need a something, you know you need something, instead of a land, this thing will gape the lands out of your way. It's really good for that. Also, it's been printed a ton, so it's super cheap. Oh my god. The Mad Wobbler, you just suggested my favorite card in the entire deck. We are going to talk about Traverse the Outlands. Traverse the Outlands, by far my favorite spell to pull off in this deck. It is a 5-drop mono green sorcery, and it says you search your library for X basic land cards, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. And if you're in a mono green landfall deck with a commander that cares about the amount of lands you control because it's got power toughness proportionate to the lands you control, Traverse the Outland will just double your board state, because when it searches for all those basics, you're gonna make a badger for each one. It is absolutely nuts. It will find you a game-winning amount of lands. Once you resolve your Traverse the Outlands in a Greensleeves deck, even if it's like the thing you cast right after you cast Greensleeves for the first time, you're gonna be very scary. You will make, you're like, okay, I have 6 lands, I cast Traverse the Outlands, I find 6 more lands, I make 6 3/3s. Now the table is gonna try to kill you. Getting Traverse the Outlands to go off is so much fun. It is easily the most fun card for me personally to resolve in my Greensleeves deck. But it does paint a huge target on your back, and it's really hard, for me at least, in my deck, to give my Badgers haste. So, usually when I resolve Traverse the Outlands, I'm having a great time, but I'm also about to die. Tribute to the World Tree. Yeah, Tribute to the World Tree is also a card I run here. Tribute to the World Tree is very cool. If you care about devotion, this thing will give you 3 devotion for 3 mana. Damn, this thing's $16? I'm not gonna lie, guys. I kind of thought this would be a bulk rare when it came out in Aftermath. Excuse me, not Aftermath. March of the Machines. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card if its power is 3 or greater. So if we make a Badger, we draw a card off it. Otherwise, we put 2+1/+1 counters on the creature. This thing's cool. It lets us draw cards off our Badgers. It lets us draw a crap ton of cards off our Badgers, because we'll be drawing a card for each one. Same thing with Garruk's Uprising. Garruk's Uprising also goes crazy in here, right? Garruk's Uprising. Where you at? Where you at, Garruk's Uprising? Or is this only... whenever a creature with power 4... Oh, no, never mind. Doesn't work. It's gotta be power 4. Omnath, Locus of Mana. Omnath, Locus of Mana is a 3-drop legendary green elemental booger. It's a 1/1, and you don't lose unspent green mana as steps and phases end, so you bank it between turns. So you should never be ending a turn with untapped something with Omnath, because you can bank that mana per turn. It's a good time. Omnath has been a CEDH commander in the past very easily. If you just keep your mana between turns, it's a good time. Definitely opens up the gates to some nonsense. On the Trail. We are on the trail. On the Trail is a 2-drop mono green enchantment. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. This thing's really cool, actually. It came out in Murders of Karlov Manor. It's 2 mana. It can do a little bit of card draw. Not card draw. It does a little bit of ramp if you have lands in your hand. You do need a lot of card draw, or you do need a way to consistently draw cards to get this to pop off, though. World Wake. World Wake. What the hell is World Wake? World Wake. World Wake. Okay, do you mean this one? This is a World Waker. 5-drop Plainswalker. 3 abilities. Target land you control becomes a 4/4 elemental with trample, still a land. +1, untap up to 4 target forests. Untap a bunch of forests. Untapping 4 forests, that's really good, actually. That's very cool. That almost makes her 1 mana, because you could activate her for +1, untap a bunch of forests, and then you only paid 1 mana for her. And if you -7 her, you get to grab all your basics. Search your library for any number of basic land cards, put them onto the battlefield. They become elemental creatures of trample. Okay, that's pretty good. Very cool. I don't think I've ever seen that Nissa before. Mossborn Hydra. Mossborn Hydra. Oh, this thing came out in Foundations. This thing's really cool. It's a 3-drop. It's got trample. It enters with a +1/+1 counter on it. And whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, double the number of +1/+1 counters on this creature. Oh my god. This thing is nuts. Okay. So this thing is great in a Landfall deck. This thing needs to... I need to find one of these things for my green sleeves. So, if you want to, like... I run a similar Hydra. I think it's a Colonian Hydra. It just doubles the amount of counters on it every time it attacks. But this thing works great for Landfall triggers. It enters early. It's a 3-drop. It'll hang out on the battlefield. Yeah, I don't mind this thing at all. This thing's really cool. MWONV. That's so many. Okay. Oh, the second draw a card thing. Yeah, it's Jorel. I hope it's Jorel. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, you get to make a 2/2 cat. And the cat tokens for Jorel are really, really cool. It's just like a pair of eyes looking at you through like the bushes. And it's a panther like you see on the art here. Some eye. It's a really cool token. And you can activate her for 6, and until end of turn, creatures you control have base power and toughness XX, where X is the number of cards in your hand. This is cool. So if we have a ton of cards in our hand, we can use this activated ability to make our badgers even bigger. Careful about this thing, though, because it probably will be a downgrade for grain sleeves. So you definitely want to use this thing when you already have a ton of creature tokens. Probably not when you just got Jorel and green sleeves hanging out on the battlefield, because it will be a downgrade for green sleeves, probably. Loot? Which loot? Which loot, buddy? Yeah, tell me which one. Oh, I guess there's only... The only loot we can run in mono green. Thank you. Loot Exuberant Explorer is a 3-drop legendary Beast Noble 1/4. You may play an additional land on each of your turns. You can also activate him for, it looks like, 6 mana. Tap him, look at the top 6 cards of your library, and you may reveal a creature card with mana value less than or equal to the number of lands you control from among them and put it onto the battlefield. Put the rest on the bottom in a random order. So loot is a little mono green landfall command, well, not landfall, kind of land, I don't know, lands matter commander. It cares about the amount of lands you control. It wants you to play more lands so that you can enable creatures. I imagine things like green sleeves are going to run in the loot deck so that you can get landfall triggers. I don't know. What's wrong with me? Okay. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm not feeling well all of a sudden. I think I'm going to call it a night. Thank you guys for hanging out with me.